Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. There's Porter at you. I'm here today to fix a toilet that takes too long to fill up. So the tenant is reporting that when they flush the toilet, it takes a long time to fill up. So we pretty much know what it is, but we just want to give you guys an idea how you can check and do the same thing. And how an easy way to fix this, if you have a Fluidmaster. So I'm gonna take the top of this toilet off, this tank, kind of sit this on the floor over here where it's safe, where it won't get damaged. Give you the look at the inside of the how you say it, the tank. So the red thing is your flapper. That little bar is your flush handle. The flapper is connected to the fill for the flush valve, and in this corner, the black tube with the wire. Well, I'm not gonna call it a wire. We'll call it a tube in the valve. That's called your Fluidmaster fill valve. A lot of people just call them Fluidmasters, but Fluidmaster is just the name. This is called a fill valve. A lot of times debris gets stuck inside here and it prevents it from filling up properly, or the diaphragm inside goes bad. You could buy the replacement diaphragm and change it out. I think it's like $4 or $5, but the valve itself costs about $7 or something like that. So I'm gonna flush the toilet and see how long it takes to fill up. Now keep in mind the tenant is complaining that it takes about 20 minutes for the toilet to fill up and to flush it again. So let's see what we got here. Yep, and you have a bad, it's filling very slow. Typically it should fill a lot faster than that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to change that bad boy out. Now, if you have a Fluidmaster, I'm going to show you guys an easy and quick, very effective way to change this out without going through a whole lot of problems, provided you have the same exact model and type as this one. Let me show you what we have for the fill valve so I can give you guys an idea. Put it over here. So this is what the fill valve looks like. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Come off the bag. Almost there. Just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to do this one-handedly. Alright, so it comes with a tube. Same tube that's already inside there. Just like it's like a flexible hose, that's all it is. And this is the fill valve. Now, it's made by Fluidmaster. And mostly, all of Fluidmaster's fill valves are interchangeable. And what I mean by interchangeable, they're pretty much identical. You guys can see that. They're pretty much identical. They do the same exact thing. Let me see if I can set this up in a way where you guys can see what I'm doing. Hold on, let's see here. Give me a second. And for you homeowners that, hold on, let me smooth this over. You homeowners that have guys that come out and charge you an arm and a leg for doing something you could do yourself. If I can get a good angle of, right here might be good. So, first things first, the only thing you really need to do is, let me get that a little more angle, is shut off the water. You see how long it's still taking to fill up? So that tenant is correct when it takes them a long time to flush the toilet for the second time. And so what we're going to do first, we're going to shut off the water very easily. Turn it You hear no more water coming out. Okay, that's off. Perfect. Now, this is what I do. You have the Fluidmaster. A lot of people, some people do know, some people don't know, but the Fluidmaster is interchangeable at the bottom. This adjusts your height. So pull back this little safety ring, just like that. Pull out the stem. Gotta give it a little tug because it's kind of in there. It comes right out like that. So that's out, disconnected. That same piece in there does the same exact thing. So what you do, you gotta get your hands wet on this one. Dip your hand down there. You're right-handed, left-handed. You gotta get behind the ring. Kind of pull on it. Pull it. Grab the head from the top. Pull it out. Now, what I do, I keep the same hose, because the hose don't go bad. Use the same exact hose. I remove the old one. See how quick that was? Nice and easy. Take the new one. Same exact scenario. Put the hose on. Line it up. Push it back down to about the same height you had the other one. Push the retainer clip back on, or security ring. Make sure it clicks and locks in place. Because if it don't click in place, the pressure could pop it off and then you have water all over the place. So that ring basically keeps that fill valve from moving up and down. Now, turn the water back on to see how fast it fills up. Problem solved. It's that easy. You don't need to hire a plumber if you have a fill valve. Now, if you don't have a fill valve and you're changing it over, that could be something different. Now, the other thing I got to do is I got to adjust that water level. I noticed that level came up a little bit higher than the other one. There's two things I can do. I could just push down on the fill valve, which I might just do that. So I'll shut the water back off, because you don't want to do that under pressure. You could, but then you run into other problems. So take the pressure off, push this down one more level, and then lock it again. Flush it and then see where you're at. Now I'm going to turn the water back on. Let's see where it shuts off at. If it shuts off at the fill line, then I did my job. If not, I could adjust that little knob on there. And it's still a little bit high, so I could just adjust this knob down a little bit. Adjust this down. This is like the little adjuster that controls the level of the float. At least it fills up a lot faster than it did, so you don't have to wait 20 minutes to flush the toilet the second time over. There's a little line on that fill, that little tube there. You just want to make sure it goes to that fill line. I think we're right there. Yeah, pretty good. Right on the line. Okay. So that's pretty much the basics. I didn't want to do a short video, but I guess I have to do a short video. It's less than 8 minutes. Basic components. You got the flush handle here, which is obviously pulls the chain to the flapper. If you guys can see the chain attached to the flapper there. This handle attaches to the chain. Now you can adjust that chain to shorten or lengthen the linkage, so the flapper is kind of kind of taut, not too loose and not too tight, but kind of like right in the middle. This hose just basically puts water down this tube, so it kind of goes through the little ports on the toilet as it's filling. The float, which is this little canister here, which I can show you better here. That's just the float. So when the water fills up, this just controls the height. That's all that does. It controls the height of when it's going to shut off. There's a little plunger in here that pushes on like a diaphragm that stops the water once this lever is all the way up. Now this cap comes off and it exposes the diaphragm. Now to take that off is kind of tricky though, because you got to pull up these two wings simultaneously. There's a little wing, I don't know if you can see it right where my pinky is, and there's another little wing right here. You got to kind of lift up on these two wings at the same time, turn it to expose the little diaphragm. I don't have the tools with me to do that, but if I do, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do it like this. Let's see how successful I am. Let's see. I think I might be able to do it. Just gotta give it a little. If I can't do it, then I'm not gonna sweat it. But if I can, I guess I did do it. So basically, I just turned up. I did a little trick I used, but I took off that piece, and now it exposes the diaphragm. This is the diaphragm that sometimes gets clogged up, or you have to change. This little, if I can pull it out, it's a rubber diaphragm right here. Sometimes debris gets stuck inside there, or sometimes it's just no good no more. Sometimes you get all kind of material inside here. Some guys will actually reuse these over. They remanufacture them, like kind of refurbish it, clean out the diaphragm, put a new one in, test it, make sure it's working, and put it back in operation again. Because sometimes it's just a quick fix of one of these things, and you're good to go. It could be a test experiment. If you have a fleet of toilets and you're constantly fixing them all the time, it's good to have spare parts. You never know, you might be able to use one. But just give you the breakdown of this. This thing here is usually the culprit. Sometimes you get debris stuck inside here, like rubber pieces from the washers and the valves, or just get bad mineral deposits. But the best thing is to flush it out real good, and you can solve most of that problem. But I just want to give you guys a basic idea on how to change a fill valve in less than maybe 2 minutes. But my job is done. I just didn't want to make a short video, but it was shorter than I thought it was going to be. Put the top back on. Always test for proper operation after you're done. So after we did that, let me move this out the way. We're just going to back this up a little bit. And I don't know if I can do it like this, but we'll try. Yeah, maybe I could do it like this. Let's see how this flushes. Always want to leave the place at least halfway decent when you leave. It's a good flush. Fills up. You can hear it filling up, so obviously it's filling up. So make sure it stops. Enough water in the bowl. So that water that you see coming into the bowl is from that tube. So when you see that little water coming into the bowl pouring in, that's from that tube. That allows you to keep water in the bowl. If that tube didn't have water going down it, the level could be lower than it is. Yeah, that's about it. There's not much else to show here. I'm going to wrap this one up. Until next time, guys, I'm Nez Porter. Hopefully I'm going to do a little bit more of these You Do It videos, because my daughter been asking me to do a lot of these. And sometimes I don't have time to do it when you're at work, because it's just not easy. Sometimes you're doing 4 or 5 things within an hour, and it's tough. But I just had enough time early in the morning to get this one out the way before I get to my other assignments. But Nez Porter, catch you on the next one.